Hi, and welcome. Welcome to Destin for More online show. So happy to be here with you today, and I'm so excited to bring our special guest to you today. In each interview, I like to bring a guest expert to you that will help you and just help you elevate in life and business in so many different ways. So, welcome to the online show, Destin for More. My name is Wesley Reese. I'm a success coach, healer, and spiritual mentor for midlife women in business. So, our guest experts in each episode share their geniuses with you so that you can feel empowered and have a sense of overall well being and prosperity in your life and your business. Today, we have our guest expert, Tammy Cho, and she is going to help us discover how our facial features can really help us uncover those subconscious blocks, those hidden blocks that aren't really, that kind of operate underneath the surface, and how we can really um, get into an authentic alignment by uncovering those so that we can create the impact and abundance that we want with more balance and ease. And so, a little bit about Tammy is that she is a body whisperer. She's a self love embodiment guide, psychosomatic therapist, and international best selling author and CEO of Path to the Heart. Having served as a registered nurse and in the psycho-spiritual industry for 20 years, and having overcome anxiety, depression, and chronic burnout, Tammy now helps in abundance with more balance and ease without that exhaustion and self-sacrifice. So welcome, Tammy. Happy to
Thanks.
have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here on the Destined for More. I love that title, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so I am so excited to hear from you today about how the face analysis, how that can really, addressing that can help us match that energy alignment to what we really want and what we're after. So let's start out, and I would love to have you share a little bit about the face analysis and how you got into that.
Sure. Yeah, I love to. As I mentioned in my bio, like I struggled with a lot of anxiety, depression, and I was like, it was manifesting in chronic burnout in my life. And essentially, one day I was wheeled off to emergency in front of all my coworkers at work, Wesley, and leading up to that point, I knew that I was experiencing, high anxiety, and I was losing my ability to concentrate and focus. And I couldn't, get myself to let go. I even went to get a doctor's note, Wesley, to take time off, so to speak. At that time, I was working as a nurse, and yeah, I knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't get myself to do it. And it was all stemming back from, a lot of high emotional events in my past, trauma and things like this. And I got really good in my life at putting myself aside and being that people pleaser. And it really made me basically live a life where I had everything on the outside: money, house, car, loving husband, investments, all this lovely things. And inside, I just wasn't feeling happy or fulfilled. And now I feel like using face analysis is a perfect way to really bring this to people, to really take off the mask that we wear. Because essentially, I was wearing that mask. And this is why I was like, stuck on the cycle within myself, because I was disconnected at some level within myself. I mean, and I think there's different variations of disconnection for everybody. But for me, it was like I was highly disconnected and numbed out to myself. And I know for all of us that have children, I was so just to highlight a point, that I was so disconnected that when my daughter did something for the first time, intentionally hit one of those hanging toys from the baby Einstein mats in my living room, right? I couldn't even feel happiness. And so that's sort of where I came from. And from that place of pain, always motivates us to do something different. And so the face analysis is just a really powerful tool to highlight things that we may not know, highlights things that we may know, but we've brushed under the carpet, and
Mhm.
also things that we're just unaware, unconsciously unaware of. And so it's really powerful process. It is definitely highlights our strengths and challenges, and obviously these subconscious blocks. But it also is quite much more than just analysis. It's sort of like a therapeutic tool, I would say.
That's fantastic. Was it something that you were introduced to, or was it something that you developed?
Yeah, actually, it was. Yeah, and I probably skipped that part of my journey, but that's okay. It's kind of where I in sort of awakening within myself. I sort of went on this journey, Wesley, of trying to master the mind, to try to figure it out, And I also ventured into doing various energy type works, becoming a Reiki master, a shaman, and things like this. And that, although it was really effective, when I stopped exchanging energy healings, I felt that within myself, I still felt all the feelings that were underneath. And so that's when I went to 4 years of emotional, spiritual healing. And at the same time, face analysis came into that picture with psychosomatic therapy, which is the study of the body, mind, heart, soul alignment. So it was all perfect on my journey to come together in this way, Wesley. And so, to answer your question, face analysis was under psychosomatic therapy, and it is under International College out of Australia, actually. And so it was very interesting to see my body and realize that I was yearning for this love and connection, and um, just more in life. It was like highlighting actually through my body. Yet another part of my body showed that I was actually pushing away that love at the same time. So very much this deeper block that was happening, and it was spelling out in my body, affecting the shape of my body, but also how I was moving through life. Right? It's all highlighted in our face and body. It's quite amazing.
It is. It's amazing what our bodies tell us, and without knowing I mean, it's easy to just dismiss, but then once you know, you can't ignore it. And I just love how you use face analysis because, as they say, a picture tells a thousand words. And it's amazing just learning what I've learned from you is how your face can speak a thousand words. And I have seen evidence of your work from before and after, and I would love for you to speak to an example of a client that you've worked with, and what they were experiencing and how they shifted. So can you speak to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll speak about an experience that I had with a client that I did a sort of, I did a half day VIP with her, doing the face analysis. And she was really struggling with being able to launch and show up out there. She knew she was, in a way, playing small. She didn't know why. She was pushing and doing things that just didn't feel in alignment within herself. And so when I did the face analysis and the healing integration with her in that VIP day, like essentially, literally within that week after, she had this immense creative flow that flew out of her, and she completed her retreat that she's been putting off. And she was able to essentially really, like, it was fun for her. It wasn't like pushing energy. And on her face, we did a post reading as well. And her nose shape actually changed to highlight that creativity that was actually like erupting from her within the next week. And you can see that the lower part of her face is our physical zone. So someone with excuse me, sort of a wider bottom part of their face, so to speak. They're more sort of hands-on people, kind of here to like be really into things and really grounded, that type of idea. And that part of her face got more like actually got longer in length. So it was like, I mean, I thought that was really amazing, especially for a half day, but she was really, committed and wanting to create this change, and she just needed some support. And so I was grateful to be able to be that space holder for her, to help her see herself again, because there was something actively happening, and it was showing up in her face, with a feminine figure in her life. And it was actually related to the creativity. So it was really perfect timing. And I've had other people that I've worked in a 6-month coaching package together, and their face before and after is just entirely different. And it really comes to what that person's intention with working with me. And for someone, she was her values was love, authenticity, really wanting to put herself out there, but also create the income she wanted, and it's really beautiful. By the end of the time, like, you can see that her face had come back to the shape of who she actually was as a child. Because if we compare to a face analysis to someone when they're younger and who we've changed into, obviously not all bad that we've changed since we're a child per se, but for her, that's who she really was, and her face shape came back to that. And because of that aligning within herself, and also being able to be more comfortable with processing her emotion and developing that emotional leadership, the space between her eyes changed to develop that capacity to highlight that capacity. And then also her nose, the nostrils. This sounds all interesting, but it's like it's highlighting more flow in her life. And she just had way more signups in her program, and just the connection with her family. She was able to put those boundaries and not feel guilty for doing them. It was from a place of, yeah, this is for me. And so it's just really cool to see it, because many times, Wesley, we take programs and we're not really sure if there's a change, and yeah, and sometimes we do, but it's like just a tangible way to measure our personal development.
That's so fascinating. The difference between like the nostril openings and the width of the jawline that you're referring to, and even the eyes. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what is my face saying? No, just kidding. And which I will be super excited to learn. But curious for your specific, as you were getting into this, how did your face change?
Well, yeah, and it's interesting. Like, maybe I should have prepped a slide around that, because it's pretty dramatic. It was when before, my eyes were actually really small, and yeah, and like after like that, I had the picture was sort of like before, like during my burnout, so to speak, and then sort of about 2 years after, and my eyes just opened up, because I was, like I mentioned, I was really disconnected with myself, and the heart was it's a heart chakra, as so to speak. And so I, in that, my eyes opened up considerably in my ability to basically allow myself to be seen, but also to allow myself out, so to speak. Um, the left side of my face, which is my inner world, was quite a bit darkened, like when I did the face split. So what I do is I split the two left sides together, which is our inner world, and then the right sides is our two outer worlds, our public face, what we show to the world, right? And my left side of my face was, the skin color was entirely sort of darker. And some people might argue it's like, oh, it's lighting and things like that. But like future face splits, you could tell that my left side of my face was darker. So it was like where I didn't have that self-awareness, like I wasn't allowing myself to shine. I was closing myself out. And even the way I wear my hair and the way we choose to wear our hair subconsciously speaks about how we feel about ourselves. And so it was just covering my forehead, and it's just the way it's sitting. Like now I can't even get my hair to really, I have to really make it do that, right? But now it's like naturally just the way it sits, it's more off my face. And you can see also that in my upper zone, it was way more narrow. And I was like, literally, I was kind of narrow minded in my ability to see truth, to let my intuition in. I was really blocking myself out in ways. And through obviously doing the internal emotional work and also shifting my body. And this is the thing that many people don't know, is that we work a lot on mindset and even with some of at the emotional level, but it's the way we're actually holding our body, the way we walk. It's actually also creating like a misalignment, so to speak. So we could be working on our mindset and moving forward and like feeling really excited and things like that. But if we're holding our body consistently a certain way, we're actually also reinforcing old patterns. So when we talk about body, mind, heart, soul, it really literally needs to be in alignment. And that's what I'm passionate about, Wesley.
That's fascinating. I just love listening to you because
Yeah,
it's
thank
like,
you.
and everyone's body is telling a different story, and to know that there's that possibility of, you know, just not just the inner shift, but how it's going to be reflected on the outside when you come into that alignment. I just love hearing about this. Um, so tell me, like, um, it, I know when your clients come to you, they may be experiencing different things and want to work through different uh, patterns. But is there one that you maybe hear more often when people come to you?
One pattern that you hear more often, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
just one thing that they're trying to work through or to move through in order to get that result that they want.
I would say the most common one that I see, and maybe it's because the resonance that I have for the type of people that come to see me, often it's when the common pattern is there's a place where they're actually withholding at the emotional level. There's a place within them that and it's very personalized because obviously everyone's face is different even though we have the similar features, but the biggest highlight is when I highlight the left and the right face for someone and to help them stay present to themselves and to see themselves. And it's, yes, I could read it, but what's most important here is actually how that person receives themselves and
Mm,
how they actually see, like how they react to themselves when they're seeing. And that's what I am addressing in the moment, right? Like it's bringing that to the present, helping them stay present in their body, to actually feel and be present to themselves. Because many times we look at the mirror and then we just sort of move on. We put on makeup to look good for someone else, or like what we're doing for that day, anyways, right? Yeah, and so to answer your question, it really is this. Um, I wouldn't say it's a specific feature because it's often a combination of features that I bring together, and it sort of plays out differently for different people. But the commonality is their ability to actually be present with deeper emotions.
mm.
And that is often what is in the way at a deeper level for people.
Okay, that's incredible. That's incredible that you know, just that you know, just that the possibility, and to know that you don't have to live with whatever it is that you're trying to push down or tuck away, and the freedom once that is able to move through, and the power that your work does with that. um, and I know you have something that you are working on that's coming up, and I would love for you to share it with our viewers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I would love to share. I'm actually going to be launching. Well, I'll just quickly mention two things because one thing is happening tomorrow, actually, where
Oh,
it's a workshop to help someone embody their goals. And so that's tomorrow, 11 a.m. And I'll give you the link for that. But if someone doesn't listen to that in time, another offering I'm launching is my Open to Receive program. And this is about how face analysis helps us match our energy alignment. And what I want to say about that is that a lot of times when we don't allow ourselves to actually fully be ourselves in this inner and outer world, that's when things don't happen and flow within ourselves. And so, what I notice at the core level, it's actually our ability to open and receive ourselves, and allow ourselves to fully shine as ourselves. And so, in my Open to Receive program, I help someone identify and release what is actually in the way of creating that impact and abundance with more balance and ease, helping to address what your body is actually communicating to you. and at emotional level, how to transform these triggers, emotional upsets actually into opportunities, and to match your vibration to what you actually say you want. And so I'm walking someone through that in my Open to Receive program, group coaching program, and that is launching March 1st. And so if you're someone that sort of knows that, you're on the right track doing so many mindset and strategies, and something feels off and is missing and you're not sure what that is, like just have a conversation with me. I have a complimentary, call to sort of get to know each other and make sure it's a good fit and that how we could, work together to move you forward to where you want to go. And so that those are sort of my offerings that are coming up. Thank you for the space to speak about it, Wesley.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so tomorrow we have a goals workshop.
Yes, embody your goals
Embody
workshop.
your goals. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's at 11 a.m. Pacific, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll put the links in the comments so everyone has them. And then you have your Open to Receive group program coming up on March the 1st.
That's right.
Awesome. And so we'll put the link for that as well so that you can get in contact with Tammy and get more information and to see if that may be something that would help you to move towards what you want to achieve. So that is fantastic. Is there any last words that you would like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, what's coming through as just sort of something really practical is really like today, later on today, like really allow yourself to look at yourself in the mirror and really be present to yourself and just notice what features are you liking, maybe what features are you sort of you have a more negative reaction for, and really sort of allow yourself to just see if you can sort of accept it and let it in. um, and and honestly, for those that actually do that and you're noticing that one feature is sticking out and you just, I don't know, it's just like that is your subconscious talking to you. So if you actually do this exercise, feel free to ask me what a particular facial feature is jumping out at you. Just post it in the comments and I'll be sure to follow up with you and just let you know what is that subconscious part of you wanting you to sort of spend your attention towards. And so I just put that out there for everyone.
Well, that's amazing. I'm going to have to try that.
Sure.
The thing that just watching myself on video, the thing that I would say jumps out to me is like my forehead.
Mm,
And my hair is always out of my face. I never want my hair in my face. It doesn't even like fall that way anymore.
nice. So, can I ask you, when you look at that area, is it sort of a more of a positive connection, or does it feel more like a, more of a, let's say, negative connection, so to speak?
It's always to me like there's so much of it. Like my
Ah,
forehead is just a very large part of my face. And
okay.
so I don't
Yeah.
know, is there anything meaning to that comes up to you?
Yeah. Well, I just want to confirm that. So you feel neutral about it. It's just what you notice,
Yeah.
or you feel like it's like, why is it so much there? It looks funny, or is it more like, I just noticed that, and it's more of a sort of neutral curiosity. I'm just curious.
It may be more of a curiosity piece.
Okay.
Um, because it's not anything new, but
Yeah.
like it's the thing that I always notice first. And
Hmm.
and so I don't know, is there anything to that?
Yeah. Well, so I'll just let you know the top part of your face is sort of our mental zone. It's obviously like your distance from here to here. It's telling me you're highly intellectual person. And you're very smart, right off the bat. That's just I could just tell. And the openness is a lot of that. What you're probably doing in your work with people, helping people using your intuition. Obviously, our crown chakra is also there. So it's a bit of a balancing trick. Sometimes people with this big zone, they're very creative and open and intuitive. At the same time, they also have that balance of the intellect. So this is a bit of the deeper work to see whether how that is balanced within yourself, because you can spend hours with all these ideas, and then and then your mind comes in and sort of tells you all these other intellectual why it will not work. And so it's your relationship with that, and that could keep you up all night thinking about all these ideas and then not necessarily putting things into action, right? So yeah, so when you're looking at that, it's definitely your connection with this, and you can sort of check in with yourself if that is playing out, right now. It could be just your connection to a part of your gifts, and also, gifts have a double-edged sword, so to speak, and it depends whether we're in balance or out of balance at that time. So that's
Absolutely.
what I would highlight to you.
Well, it just mind blowing. I'm like, I call myself an idea generator. Like I have all these ideas. And you're like spot on with that. It's like, yeah, that could be, I just go to town and rattle off ideas all day long. But it's because there is so many of them that it's hard to discern really, which one is, you know, going to be a next step, which one needs to be put off to the side or anything like that. So that's really interesting. You just said that. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
So, well, fantastic. It has been such a pleasure to have you, Tammy. And I just want to reiterate before we drop off today that Tammy has an Embody Your Goals workshop tomorrow, which is February the 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific. And the link for that will be in the comments, as well as her opening to receive group program that is kicking off March 1st. That information will be there as well if you want to reach out to Tammy for and to connect on that. So thank you for your brilliance. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us, Tammy. And I just I'm so grateful that you are here with us today. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to share. Thanks for having me, Wesley.
Awesome. Anytime. Well, we're signing off for today. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you on the next episode.